Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Mary Starr Carter, and it's my privilege to launch this 12 Days of Diamonds. I am so excited for you. I'm so excited to share what I have to share and to listen to these amazing diamonds. So let's get ready. Make sure that you grab a notebook, you take some time, you set some time aside to either re-listen, write your notes down, whether it's me or another diamond you want to get started. I'm so excited for you. For my talk, we are going to need our handy dandy Young Living Income Disclosure Agreement. I'm really excited for you. Good to see some of my friends joining already. All right, so if you don't know where that Young Living Income Disclosure Agreement is in your back office, just simply Google search Young Living 2019 Income Disclosure Agreement and you can find it there. So my talk today, I am going to help you. How many of you right now have been stuck at a rank, right? You're frustrated. Maybe it's been months or even years that you've been stuck at executive, senior star, silver, gold, platinum, and you want to rank up. How many of you, that is you, you want to do that? Shoot me some comments that yes, I'm ready to rank up. How many of you are frustrated? Maybe you're even ready to quit. Right? Or maybe you just lost your best business builder to some other company or some other thing in their life, right? And you're just frustrated and you want to get out of that plateau. You truly, honestly want to grow a Young Living business. You want to help people. You want to achieve. You want to help your family increase their income. How many of you, that's you, right? Well, my story starts 21 years ago. That's right. I've been with Young Living 21 years last month. And so I have a lot to share with you, but let me share a little bit about my story. 21 years ago, I was in chiropractic school and my colleague invited me to this little oil gathering. And I went and they were talking about all the benefits of essential oils. And I was like, yeah, right, whatever. But the next day, one of my colleagues who used one of those essential oils said, I slept better than I've ever slept in my life. And I was like, I need to know about this. What is this stuff? I need to know. So I spent a whole year just kind of experimenting and using the oils on myself and getting results and even testing other companies' oils. And I was like, wow, we have some phenomenal oils at Young Living. And I got oils on about 25 people. So 25 people I shared with, I oiled them up, whatever. And 2 of those people started having some of their own results and started sharing. And at the end of that year of just learning about oils, I got an accidental $100 paycheck in the mail. Now that paycheck was very important to me because at that time in my life, it was awful. It was a very dark time in my life. I was broke, living on government assistance and food stamps. My family life had been shattered. It literally had the rug pulled out from under me. It was just an awful time. How many of you have had that dark time in your life? How many of you have been really broke? Maybe you were $250,000 in debt like I was, right? Maybe you have creditors calling. Maybe you have gone through a divorce or a severe trauma or something like that. If that's you, I know that place. I know that place. Maybe you're going through it right now. And that's where I started my Young Living business. And that commission check to me said, wow, what if I look at this as a business? So if you haven't already, go get your Young Living Income Disclosure Agreement because we're going to talk about the business and how you can rank up. Good to see so many great faces on here. Thank you so much for joining me. And definitely comment too. I want to hear your comments and I'll go through them later. Okay, so here I am and my mentor and I go to her, I say, hey, what if we do this as a business? She says, yes, let's do it. But we had no clue what to do. All we knew is we had to write down our goals. And one of my goals was to be able to pay my monthly student loan bill, which would be over $1,000 a month. So by the time I graduated, I want to pay that monthly student loan bill. So my first rank up, it took me 18 months to achieve the rank of silver. So if you go on here, you'll see that the average silver earns about $16,000 a year. So that's a little over $1,000 a month. And that's right. In 18 months, I was able to achieve that. Not knowing anything about the business, all we knew is we had to share oils, get oils on people, all of that. And that was a very important rank up for me too, because I I was so excited. Now remember, back in 2002, this is, right? 2002. We didn't have the promotions you have. We didn't have any of the things. So when I hear people complain about, oh, Young Living doesn't have this, or they ran out of that, or this is changing, or that, I'm like, what are you talking about? We barely had a downline viewer. Barely. I used to have to call on the phone to check out my downline, right? We barely had any of that. So I achieved the rank of silver. Oh, one thing we did have, we actually had this, when you achieved this rank, we had a promotion at that time where they paid like your car payment. So if you got a car, they would pay a car payment. I think Terry Seacrest had a horse. They paid a horse payment. It was really fun little promo that they had. And I bought my new Saturn Vue. I was so excited. And then the next month, that bonus went away. But I didn't quit. Just think if I had quit because the Young Living compensation plan changed, right? Think about that. If I had quit way back then, think about not only the millions of dollars I would have lost, the thousands and thousands of lives that have been changed because I didn't quit when things were hard. And they were hard in the beginning. They were really hard. But it got better. It always gets better. So 18 months to silver. It took me another 22 months to achieve the rank of gold. Still not really understanding the business. I was working a lot of hours. I was frustrated. I was fighting with my spouse all the time. And at that rank, which you can see here, that's the rank where a lot of people want to achieve, right? That gold rank, because really that was 4 years for me, and you've heard that concept, 4-year career. But that's a $50,000 annual paycheck. And that for most people is most people's full-time pay if they have a job. So that was a great rank. But my husband and I, we just had no clue about how to manage a business. We had no clue about how to manage finances. We were earning all that money and spending $1,000 a month going into debt every month. So we'd spend all our commission check plus some, right? Plus some, even when he had jobs. In fact, I've done this business in a lot of different seasons. I've done this business when I was single and in school working full time. I mean, in school, like a full-time job, right? And working Young Living part-time. I've done this business when I was, newly married. When I started my chiropractic career and started my business, I did Young Living on the side. I've done this business with my spouse full-time. When I stopped my chiropractic career and just did Young Living. I've done this business having kids. All of these different seasons that I have had over the 21 years. So I can relate to a lot of you who are stuck, or you're trying to get to that next rank, or you're just frustrated right now in your business. You're just like, I feel overwhelmed. I don't know how to get out. How many of you, you're feeling that right now? You feel like you're spinning your wheels. Well, that was me at Gold. We were doing everything we thought. We were sharing, we were teaching, we were traveling, we were doing all of these things, but yet I was so frustrated and stuck. In fact, another 32 months working like that, and then we hit platinum in 2007. It was a great, amazing thing, but we only hit it once. And for years, we fell back down to gold. How many of you have had that, right? You've ranked up to silver or executive, maybe even gold or platinum, and you fell back down. Well, I have some secret tips for you today that I really believe are going to help you get out of that rut. So are you ready? Okay. All right. So let's just kind of go forward with the story because some of these will be applicable. 7 years. It took me 7 years from platinum to achieve diamond. Had a couple of kids in that. In those 7 years, took a lot of time off. And about only 2 months that we've missed diamond in that first year. But for 5 years, we've been able to maintain and grow. And I'm going to share with you some of those numbers at that level. Okay, so I shared with you my story. So I'm going to share with you 5 words, almost like a sentence. So you ready to write these down? Okay, the first word is my. The first word is my. So if you are stuck in a rut right now, you are just spinning your wheels, you feel like, the business isn't growing, or you're just not financially seeing what you want to see, you're not having fun anymore. That was me. That was me. And one of the things that we my husband and I learned, let me get my Eve's mouthwash in a spray bottle, great trick, that we learned was that how could God give us more when we didn't know how to take care of what we had, right? We were going all that in debt. So one of the things about is your personal, my personal, and my professional development. Write that down. My personal and my professional development. You need to look at what areas in your life do you need to shore up. For us, we need to learn how to be good financial stewards. We need to learn how to stop spending all of our money. We need to learn how to pay off debt. And in fact, we learned those skills. And in 2 years, we were able to pay off, out of that $250,000, we were able to pay off over $125,000. Because we invested in our professional skills in learning and growing, both my husband and I together, he took it and moved off into a job and a career where he was earning an extra $35,000, then $75,000 a year. And then just recently, $130,000 this past year, he did $225,000. And this year he'll do $300,000 because of the skills he learned, because of this company, and how we went off and learned professional skills. Things like communication, how to deal with conflict, how to work in groups, about personalities, so many different things that you don't think about. You just don't think about when you start a business that has to do with a lot of people. And so that's my little bonus tip for you, is that if you want to earn diamond money at lower ranks, developing yourself personally and professionally will really help you in all areas of your life. Your marriage, your parenting, your finances, building wealth, learning about taxes, all of those things. So write down and think about, what areas do I need to shore up? What areas do I need to shore up? And when we think about, we talk about professional development, what is personal development? Personal development for you, maybe, you had a job where you had a really bad boss and it's just kind of skewed you to working with men or working with women. You need to deal with those things. That's like personal development. Maybe you have a spirit of rejection, where you had a poor childhood or you had trauma or abuse. All those things, that personal development will reflect over into your business. So very important. So the first word I had for you again was my personal and my professional development. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not one class you take. In fact, the debt classes, I think we took multiple times. Many times. But over time, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, maybe a couple of years, you will see that shift in you, your business, how you run things, all of that, and you will get out of that rut. Trust me, it does work. Okay, the next word I have for you is focus, right? The next word I have for you, focus. So very important for your growth in your Young Living business if you want to get out of this rut. And I will say, a lot of people who maybe have been if you're a leader and you have people in your team who've been executive team, not everyone truly wants to grow to the next rank. They're very happy. They're happy using their oils, or they had one goal. They achieved that goal. I have a very famous good friend who, she got all the way up to a high diamond-ish rank in Young Living. And she's like, you know what? I'm done. That was my goal. I achieved it. And she went on to do other things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you as a leader have to understand that not everyone's focus is to grow. But if your focus is to grow, then you need to focus, right? And write this down too. Simplify, right? We're always doing so many things. We can't do everything. And growing a business really does require simplifying and focus. And for some of you, it means getting rid of some things. How can I really grow to those higher ranks when all my time is spent over here or in this season or that season? I could go on and do a whole nother talk about that, how to manage your life, your children, all of those things. But let me share with you a story. I'm going to share with you a story of two hairdressers, okay? Two awesome hairdressers in my organization. The one hairdresser, we started working together in, I believe, 2004, 2005. And she was passionate about the oils, still is passionate about the oils today, and wanted to do this as a business. And she would get going. She would share with her clients and her other hairdressers. And she would go, go, go. And then she would get distracted and go off into maybe this makeup company or this project or moving on to this business or sharing something else. And she's done that over and over and over through the years. So her rank has only been to executive. She has people under her who are silver, but she hasn't focused enough and long enough. And remember, I talked about how I got up to gold. That was 4 years of focus, right? That was 4 years of focus. Because she hasn't done that, she hasn't. Now, let me tell you about the other hairdresser. This other hairdresser, very similar personality, similar businesses, everything. And about 1.5 years, 2 years into using the oils, sharing the oils, kind of occasionally, she said, I'm going to do this as a business. I'm going to do this. And she just focused and she focused and she focused. And today she's a gold leader, right? 4 years. She's a gold leader. She has a silver underneath her, and an amazing, amazing team. And that's the tale of two hairdressers. So if you want to grow and rank and get out of this rut, you need to focus. You can't be doing this party and that party and promoting this and doing all of these things. You know, a lot of people brag about, and I am in that situation. I have done this many times, so please don't think I'm not looking at the plank in my own eye. I have done projects or this or that, and like, wow, I made an extra $25,000 doing this project this year. But I spent $25,000, and I spent almost all the time I should have been prospecting in my business, sharing in my Young Living business on that project. So really, was it a positive thing? Right? We have to evaluate all the things we do, and we have to focus. All right, the next word I have for you, so we did my focus grows. And growth, the growth of your business has to do mostly, the growth, I mean, particularly if you want to move up to silver, gold, really above silver, gold, platinum, diamond. The growth of your business has to do with you sharing, right? We all know that. We have to share. We have to share. We have to get oils on people. We have to help people get started. But you have to share the business. You have to share the business. You have to have a business presentation, or maybe part of your upline organization has a business presentation. You have to share the business opportunity. And this is such a simple way to do it. In fact, so simple, when you are working with a person and learning about them, and they say, yes, you know, I don't think I'll have enough to send my daughter this semester back to her private school, right? You know, you say, you know, why don't you come over? Let's have a talk. And you take out your little income disclosure agreement and say, you know, where is it? How much income do you need? Or are you short? You know, and you can show them. You can show them exactly, you know, how many months that'll take. This income disclosure agreement is really phenomenal for people who really want to work the business. So growth has to be in sharing new. Now, another quick story is that you can be a top recruiter, and watching me right now, you enroll 5, 6, I mean, that's top recruiter, right? 7, 8, 9, top recruiter. In fact, if you're enrolling 2 people a month and you just continuously do, you will get yourself to diamond. That's what I did. I'm an average recruiter, but I want to talk to top recruiters, because a lot of you are very good at selling kits, even getting people on essential rewards. But I want to encourage you that unless you're sharing the business opportunity, you aren't going to get out of that rut unless there's other new leaders, and that's the next 2 words, grows new leaders in your organization. You are not going to get to that next rank. You're not going to get to that next rank. And I have multiple stories where I see this over and over. 2 of my most amazing top recruiters, you know, one is phenomenal. She does this and she can sell kits, and they're both phenomenal women. They just are. But this one talks about the business, has people in her organization doing the business, has people doing their own classes, their own Zooms, their own things. This woman is doing all the work, right? she's doing all the work. This leader's doing all the work. She's selling the kits. She's doing for the majority of the case. So if you're stuck, you need to reevaluate and you have to look at my focus grows new leaders. Now let's talk about that word new. Your business and your growth has to be talking to new people, all right? New people. So many people come to me and say, how can I help my leaders do this? And I say, you're an executive. They're not even leaders yet, right? Well, maybe I don't say that, and if I offend anyone, I'm sorry, but it's true. You know, even when you're a silver, somebody says my team or my team, I'm like, what are you talking about? Team is specific to leaders, right? People who are silvers and above, people who are working their way to silvers and above, who are actively talking to new people every week, every month, every day, as Richard Brooks teaches us, right? Every day. That's new growth, new people. So when you use the word team, a lot of you mean your customer base, right? Which is awesome, and we want to care for them, and they're wonderful, and they're the basis of our business. But team is a very tight-knit, usually, group of people. It's not hundreds and hundreds of people who are actively doing this as a business. But how do you grow how do you get out of that rut? You have to have new leaders. You have to be sharing the business opportunity with new people all the time. So let me see what I have to share with you. And I want to talk about new and why new leaders is so important, and then I'll wrap up. So in April of 2014, I hit, and I say our team collectively, right? Our customer base and our team members who are working, we hit a diamond rank in April of 2014 with $390,000 in volume. Okay. In April of 2020, we are still at diamond, but we have $1.1 million in volume, 500,000, and I have a whole nother diamond team. Now, why is this important? Okay. In April of 2014, we have 11 leaders. Remember, I talked about your growth has to do with leaders. How does one grow to 1.1 million from 390? We had 11 leaders that I personally was getting paid on who had silvers and above, right? And if you look at that generation bonus, if you print out the compensation plan, it's pretty amazing. It's amazing. So when people get to that silver and above, not only will your commission check go up, because I had 11 leaders in 2014, 25 leaders who I personally got paid on in my diamond team. Then there's a whole nother diamond team that I don't get paid on, who has another like 30 leaders in their team. But in 500,000 of that, 1.1 comes from us, 500,000 comes from the other team. But my commission check went up 70%. Does that make sense? So if you're stuck in a rut, you want to grow your family's income, you want to get to that new rank, you need to focus on new leaders. That's really where it's at. And how do you get new leaders? Well, one, you focus, right? You got to get your skills. You got to hone up your personal and professional skills to get good quality people. Because we can have lots of people, but you want good quality people. And I'm so grateful to have some of the most amazing quality people in my organization. They are far better than me. And I believe that's because of those personal and professional skills, right? And focus. You have to focus. And you have to focus on new leaders, and you have to talk to new people. And I'm going to end with this story. You know, in this story, I have a new woman in our organization. She's doing phenomenal and she's growing. And I'm saying, hey, tell me about your story. She goes, I've been exposed to the oils for years. My chiropractor had them in her office and I would buy them occasionally. And, I just saw them and, just started using them and buying them on a kind of almost a monthly basis. And I thought, I need to get this paid for. And my friend, another person, not that chiropractor, who sold her the oils, my friend shared with me the business program of Young Living and how I could get my oils paid for. And guess what? she enrolled in ownership, and she's like $4,000 or $5,000 already in just a short period of time this year. Why? What about the chiropractor? Never shared the business program. Now, this story has a happy ending because this year, because of COVID and everything that's happened, that chiropractor got very passionate again in her business and decided to start growing and sharing more, and she was able to achieve the rank of silver as well. But my point being is that we need to share. You don't know who out there or why. Maybe it's just to get their products paid for. Maybe they have a debt they need to pay, or a time in their life where they really need to grow their income, all of those things. But you need to share the business program if you want to get out of rut. So I told you that I would tell you how to rank up to silver, gold, platinum, and diamond, right? After a plateau. I told you I'd share with you some bonus tips on how to run your business debt-free with minimal hours and to make diamond kind of money. And we talked about that really that those professional skills, those personal development skills are the foundation of your business. And those things, when you invest in those things, can roll over into other areas of your life where income can be pouring in too, like it did for my husband and I, and how we've paid off, all of our debt and now, have other sources of income because of those personal and professional things. And it's not just my story. In fact, I have many people on here right now who have that same story because they invested in their personal and professional development and were able to pay off debt and grow their income, all of those things. So that's the foundation. I talked to you about focus and about the 2 hairdressers. Where do you want to be 5 years from now, 4 years from now? Are you willing to focus? Are you willing to let go of some of these things in your life? Are you willing to simplify your business? Didn't talk about that. Are you willing to simplify your business? People talk about, this product and that product. When I started, we had oils, and a couple supplements. That's it. We didn't even have Ninja Red. We didn't even have Ninja Red, right? And I achieved all the way to gold rank before we even had Ninja Red, the most consumable product that we all should be selling, right? So you simplify your business, simplify, focus, share simply, right? Develop a simple business plan, and I'm sure there'll be some great leaders to share with you about how to do that. Focus, and remember that your growth has to do with you developing new leaders. How do you develop new leaders? You have to talk to new people about the business program. Most of them won't be interested, but some will, and you never know who your next person is. All right, so your next step, comment to me what you are going to do. Go through those things. My focus grows new leaders. What areas in your personal and professional development? Put in the comments, what areas do I need to work on this next year to really grow my business? Have I been focused? Have you been focused? Where can you simplify and focus your business? Where is your growth? What is your next rank? Let me know what your next rank you are working on achieving, or how many new silvers you want to have in your organization, because that is really going to help you achieve your goals, and how many leaders. So God bless you. I will be praying for you. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Mary Starr Carter, and it's a privilege to have been with Young Living 21 years. I can't wait to see what this next decade brings to me and to you. I love you. Bye-bye.